We're joined by Clayson Monyela. He is the spokesperson for the Department of International Relations and Cooperation. A very good morning to you, Mr. Monyela, and thanks for making the time. Mr. Monyela, are you able to join us?
Good morning, Desiree. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We hope any moment now we'll be able to see you as well. But Minister Naledi Pandor saying that our immediate concern is the damage that this decision will cause to both the tourism industries and business of both countries. How will DIRCO be engaging the UK in this regard?
Well, I guess the first thing to say is that we have noted this decision by the UK government to temporarily ban the Southern African countries, including South Africa, from entering the UK based on this detection of this new variant in some parts of Southern Africa. I would also like to say and remind South Africans that we actually have excellent cordial relations with the United Kingdom, and those relations are historic. The UK remains the #1 source of tourist arrivals in South Africa. And it's in that context then that Minister Naledi Pandor has expressed the concern that this decision is going to affect our tourism industry and two-way business between the two countries in a negative way. You were correctly saying earlier that the impact of COVID-19 and the various levels lockdowns that our country has had to endure has had a devastating impact on the tourism industry in particular. Over 8 weeks ago, when the UK finally removed South Africa from the red travel list, we were starting to recover. We were seeing a lot of arrivals from the UK, and now that South Africa is entering the holiday period, we were also hoping that the tourism industry, in particular hospitality sector, will use this period to recover from the devastating impact of COVID-19. So this latest decision is regrettable in that sense. And we think actually World Health Organization, WHO, is yet to weigh in terms of the next steps, given this new variant that has been discovered in parts of Southern Africa, particularly because so little is known about it. You've heard from South African scientists saying a similar thing. So there's many things yet to discover about it. So you'd have thought that countries would wait a little bit before taking the decision that the UK has taken. So we will be engaging with them, as we always do, when confronted with matters of this nature. And these discussions between South Africa and the UK will take place within the context of the excellent relations that exist between the two countries.
Clayson, I just want to take you back to that recent removal from the red list that President Cyril Ramaphosa personally made a call to the UK Prime Minister for intervention. Are we going to see any such interventions again this time around?
Well, the nature of these engagements are such that it starts at our level, if I can call it that. We have an embassy in the UK, as you know. Our High Commissioner in the United Kingdom is High Commissioner Tambo. So those engagements will begin immediately at that level between us and the UK. And then, of course, it will escalate if there is a need for us to escalate to the highest level. Minister Pandor is firmly involved in the process, so I'm sure she will also be reaching out to her counterpart. The Minister of Health has already spoken on the issue. So it will be involving all stakeholders with an interest in seeing that this matter is resolved as speedily as possible. We also think that there is a need for engagement between South African scientists and their counterparts from the UK, because I think we all agree that there's very little that is known about this variant at the moment, and there must be a way in which tourism and business and it's not just limited to tourism and business, by the way. Families, I was listening to some voice notes of people who have already bought tickets, to come to South Africa, and vice versa, South Africans who are hoping to travel to the UK. So families are immediately impacted by this decision as well. So there's a need for the two governments to find a quicker solution.
Have any other countries registered concern? Are you able to tell us about this?
Well, I may not have seen statements, but I am sure countries in the region, like South Africa, would also be confronted with similar challenges that South Africa is having to deal with as an aftermath of this decision. I would imagine a country like Namibia, Botswana, in fact, all countries that are listed in this latest round of red listing would have concerns and issues because their citizens would be equally affected, like South Africans are.
Yeah, and also the inclusion of the Southern African region. Is this problematic? As you say, we depend around the festive season time, we depend a lot on tourism coming in, and this is the case in most Southern African countries. For argument's sake, the waterfalls in Zambia, those could be affected as well. Even countries that are not on the list will be affected. How are you engaging this particular area of the ban?
Yeah, particularly because South Africa is a gateway into the region and the rest of the continent. So if you ban flights to South Africa, it's not just South Africa that's get affected, because there's a lot of travelers into the SADC region who use South Africa as a gateway. So the concern would go beyond just South Africa in terms of people who were hoping to visit South Africa and perhaps other countries in the region. That's number one. Number two, I think it's also an opportunity, a development like this, perhaps a reminder to South Africans who are still reluctant, to be vaccinated, that the quicker and the more South Africans get vaccinated, the better for all of us, because developments and discoveries and detections of new variants will get minimized with time as more and more people get vaccinated. So in as much as this is a negative and a setback, a speed hump in the journey on the road, I think we can use it to also reflect on what can we do as South Africans to avoid more variants from being discovered in the future. As I said, in the context of this issue, the South African government will be engaging with the UK government to try and find a better way of managing this.
Not a great line, but thank you so much for making the time, Clayson Monyela.